For some, hockey is bigger than the sum of its parts. It's a game that provides structure, inspiration, a sense of identity. For some, losing hockey would be like losing a piece of themselves. Growing up in Charlottetown, Kristen Cameron was that kind of hockey player, an exceptional talent from a family that loved the game. Her uncle Dave had played in the NHL and was pursuing a career as a coach.
Oh, hockey was her life. Like hockey, I remember the first day we tried her out with hockey, and of course we weren't sure if she was going to like it. I remember saying to the coach, I don't know how she's going to get along, but she wants to give it a try, and she never looked back.
Kristen's talent led her to the U.S., where she was recruited to play NCAA hockey in Maine. By the fall of 2010, she was pursuing her master's degree, while also working as an assistant coach at an elite school in Pennsylvania.
I had been working for the last year at Mercyhurst University, which is got one of the top D1 women's hockey programs. I knew I was doing exactly what I should be doing because it just fit, felt right, I was happy, and it was fun.
Just as she began her second year of coaching, disaster struck. While out on a bike ride, Kristen was hit by a drunk driver. In the impact, she was thrown nearly 50 feet.
There was a message from my brother Brian. He said Chris was in an accident. He's on his way to Toronto, and could I pick him up and head to here? So it was just a sick feeling.
I had no idea what was going on. I was on a lot of medication because I had a lot of pain. So in the beginning, I was like, I'll be fine. Like, I'll learn to walk again. It'll be no big deal.
The crash left Kristen paralyzed from the chest down. To recover, she came here, a specialized rehab facility in Toronto.
All I remember seeing, because you're on a stretcher, right? All I remember seeing the ceiling of the outside, kind of the entry level. It's kind of got a funky, glass-type ceiling. That's pretty much the only thing I remember.
In the 4 years since the accident, Kristen has fought to regain her mobility and her independence.
I remember saying I want to get myself into a manual wheelchair by the time I leave here, because I was in a power chair, so I remember kind of those as being the big things for me, for it to sink in.
Among the things Kristen lost on the day of the accident was her identity as an athlete.
I just didn't want anything to do with disability sports. I guess it's just because I wasn't ready to accept the fact that I was going to be playing a disability sport rather than an able-bodied sport.
But coming to terms with a new reality meant finding a new sense of self. For those closest to Kristen, the biggest turning point in her recovery was obvious.
When she started rugby, that was the turning point for her as far as getting up and going and finishing school and, working out, and just, that was a big turning point.
There's a girl in the national team, her name's Miranda. She said, "You're already an athlete." Because I think when I broke my neck, I lost my identity as being an athlete, which is really what I probably prided myself on more than anything.
She's still relatively new to the high-impact sport, but her potential is limitless.
She's on the radar for the national team, and a lot of it's because of her hockey knowledge. I mean, she's well ahead of a lot of the other prospects that are here simply because of her high sport IQ.
See this lady every day just fight, as my brother described it, fight for every inch that she has to take back, with no anger, with no hatred, with no excuses. It's amazing. Words can't describe it.
She's amazing, and she really makes people shake their head and say, if she can do that, there's so much more we can do.
I kind of started to realize that I do have a pretty cool story. It's pretty unique, and I didn't really ever stop and think about that before. These things are exciting, things that I never would have gotten to do before, and if it continues, it's just going to keep getting better.